In today's equity index futures markets, let's take a look at the NASDAQ 100 futures, as we did see another strong day for the NASDAQ 100 futures. Off the highs of the day, but still settling just below the 9,300 level. And with that, we're seeing the NASDAQ futures up 6 consecutive days. And I want to point out that this is the highest level for the NASDAQ futures since February 21st, which is only a couple days removed from the all-time highs for the NASDAQ futures. So we are seeing the NASDAQ futures pushing back up here and really within shouting distance of the all-time highs. And when you look at the driving factors today, point out, I think certainly the leadership continues to be those big tech names. Couple that with some biotech names as well, and we're continuing to see the big leaders, the FANG names, the Apples, the Amazons, the Microsofts today, pushing up quite significantly and therefore driving up those NASDAQ futures as well. And I also want to point out that I think the stimulus that the Fed has initiated, that Congress has initiated, continues to work its way through the system. And I think the market's certainly benefiting from that, particularly the names that appear to be in a strong financial position to take advantage of the current environment. And that's why another factor, I should say, why I think we're seeing those NASDAQ futures pushing up quite significantly today. And when you look at the trends in place, I want to point out, as I mentioned, the NASDAQ futures are up on the year. They're up about 6% now year to date, which is quite a dispersion between the S&P futures, which are still down 9%, and we're basically flat today. And when you look at the NASDAQ futures, I want to point out from the March 23 intraday low, we are seeing the NASDAQ futures up about, so is it 39% now from those March 23rd lows. So substantial bounce back, much more so than, as I mentioned, we saw to this point with the S&P futures or the Dow futures or the Russell futures. So the NASDAQ futures continuing to lead the charge here once again today, where we saw them up for a 6th consecutive day.